Welcome back everybody to TLTQ. Today I'm going to show you how to remove the diesel particulate filter on the Nissan Titan Cummins XD. So, it's already off of my truck, as you can see. There it is. So, up in the front you have 3 bolts where your catalytic converter goes. There's 1, 2, 3. All 3 of them are a 15mm bolt. And you have 1, 2, 3 plugs on it. The 3 plugs. So there's 1, 2, 3. So unplug all them, and then what I did is when I unplugged them, I wrapped them in a Ziploc bag and zip tied them to the frame so they're out of the way. You don't want them to get near the heat or get caught up or anything or any of that. Alright? So after you unbolt both pieces from the front of the cat to the rear excuse me, to the rear of the cat, there are 3 other bolts on the rear of the cat to the DPF, which are also 15mm bolts. Once you unbolt them, it's going to be kind of a pain to try to drop by yourself, but what I did was I put a floor jack underneath with a ratchet strap to hold the diesel particulate filter in place, so this way it didn't fall on me. Also, on the diesel particulate filter, you have the diesel exhaust fluid port, which is right here. And it also has a plug on it. In order to get the diesel particulate filter, or the diesel exhaust fluid plug off, there's a silver insulator boot that goes over top. So if you slide the silver insulator boot off, there's 2 gray tabs. You press them 2 gray tabs into each other, and then slides right off. And then you have 1 plug on top. And then what I did was, and you don't have to, but I unbolted everything and dropped everything as a unit from the side of the frame. So I unplugged the plug that's right here on the one, and then this mounts to the side of the frame just as like this. So I unbolted this, put the bolts back in the holes, and torqued them back down to again. And then back here you have the same principle. So you have 1 plug that's right here that has to come off. So when I unplug that, this sits on the side of the frame, just as you see, just like this. And these are just this is just the Flow Pro race pipe that I put in place because I didn't want to change out the whole exhaust. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting points for the grommets on the diesel particulate filter, and nothing for the catalytic converter. So if you climb underneath with me, I shall show you. Ow. The phone got in the way. So, when you're underneath of the truck, you have a band clamp in the back that holds the diesel particulate filter to the tailpipe, which is also a 15mm bolt, which is right here. So I unscrewed that, and you reuse this clamp for the new exhaust system from Flow Pro. Then you have your grommets. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then 4 right here. And it's best not to do this while the truck's hot like I'm doing right now. So, you know, bolt everything all the way up. You see the triangle bolts? The triangle flange up there, sorry. The triangle flange on bolts, and then it separates right here. Right where this new band clamp is that Flow Pro sends with this kit. Which is really nice. Also, show you what I did with the plugs. If you can look all up here, I have the 1 plug, there's 2 plugs, right? And then there's 3 plugs up behind it. Then the nozzle and the other plugs are up in this way. So there's a plug there that has a little yellow pin on it. So what you do is you just pull that pin straight out. And then there's a clamp or a little press pin that you push down and it pulls right out. Alright, that's your like a safety mechanism so it doesn't come off while you're going down the road. But it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. It's a nice setup. Ow. Watch your head when you're under here though, because you might hit it on something. So I have other plug here, right? And then there's a plug way over here that I never covered because it's a very tight plug that barely has any room for movement in it. I don't know if you can really see that, But see, that's what the yellow pin looks like. So the pin just pulls straight out. See how it opens up? Then when you put it on, it snaps in just like that. See it? Now it's flush. In order to get these out, I use a pick, and I just pry it up on it just a little bit, and it came off. But the flange that's on the diesel particulate filter that mounts to the frame sits right here. See the 2 bolts? So if you undo those bolts and unplug them plugs, it should drop straight off. And then, like I said, I put the bolts back in there. And then for the catalytic converter, the plate used to sit right here. See the 2 bolts? So what I did was unbolted that, unplugged everything, and then just bolted the 2 plugs back in. So that's your Flow Pro race pipe with the DPF delete and the catalytic converter delete. Also, please make sure you drain the diesel particulate fuel, or the diesel exhaust fluid, sorry. Make sure you drain that. And how I did mine was I unscrewed where the center is for the filter, for my fuel filter. This is all at one time. So I drained that, put a new fuel filter up in top and bottom, and then drop my whole diesel exhaust fluid container, which is back here, right here. And I drained all of that. It's not hard, but I'm actually gonna do, because I go on the beach with my truck, so I'm gonna put a Viair compressor back here, air pump, and have the air hose and everything back here. So when I go on the beach, I can repump my tires up right here from the truck. I don't have to wait for them to get out of the way, or Joe below to get done pumping air into his tires and making sure they're exact at 45 pounds or whatever, you know. So this way I can just take mine and do my own, you know what I mean? I don't have to worry about getting sand or water in the valve stems or anything. But all in all, it's a very nice setup, man, and I really like it. So after everything is all said and done, this is what your truck should sound like. Don't do that with your garage doors open, or else your garage will look like this on the inside. Whew, that's a stupid move, but anyway, you get the point. Sounds really good, work it up a lot. There's a better increase in power, more fuel efficient, and it handles and drives so much better than what it did originally. But if you're gonna rev it up, don't beat on it or any of that. My truck was already warm. I just came back from about an hour-and-a-half trip, so my truck was well warm and everything. And enjoy, man. I hope this helps you all out and gives you some insight. Maybe if you guys want to tackle it yourself, it's like I said, it's not very hard. It's just you got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plugs and 1 diesel exhaust fluid port, which is right here on the back of your DPF, or I'm sorry, on the front of your DPF. It's very easy to do. It's very simple. It doesn't take you long. It took me maybe an hour to do it all, and that's doing it right, not cutting corners or any of that. I'm sure there's going to be people out there that have better ideas or any of that, but please, if it helps you out, please leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. Tell your moms and tell your friends, man. I appreciate all you guys, and thank you, and have a good rest of your day.